soon a paranoid myth called the slave power infested thousands of northern minds. These true believers compared the South to the Antichrist. Others said it was the apocalyptic dragon of the book of Revelations, rising to strangle freedom in the North as it had extinguished it in the South. Senator Charles Sumner of Massachusetts summed up this fanaticism in a single sentence. "Are you for freedom or slavery?" he shouted to a Boston audience. "Are you for God or the devil?" To complete their portrait of a morally degraded South, the abolitionists insisted that slavery had bankrupted the region. Its soil was exhausted. Most of the people lived in abject poverty. Only the 6% who owned slaves were wealthy. In fact, the South was by far the richest section of the nation. 6 of the 10 wealthiest states in the American Union were Southern. One of my book's most surprising chapters is titled "The Real Uncle Tom and the Unknown South He Helped to Create." The real Tom was Josiah Henson, a Hensonist, who was as shrewd and self-confident as the fictional Tom was stupid and cringing. Henson ran his master's Maryland farm and made twice as much money as the white overseer he replaced. Henson was not some miraculous exception. An amazing percentage of the South's plantations, some people say as many as 70%, had black overseers. Many landowners had begun paying these talented men and their workers to improve their performance. When a Louisiana planter lost one of these gifted black men to an early death, he cried, "I have lost poor Levin, one of the most faithful blacks that ever lived. He has overseen the plantation nearly 3 years and has done better at it than any white man that had ever done before." Slavery was changing. It remained a monstrously unjust institution, but the seeds of American freedom were visible in many places. And I also insist in the book that we should not degrade American blacks and think they were all reduced to childlike morons because of slavery. An enormous number of these men had gifts and they were able to display them within the grip of this awful system. But at the same time, each night on the roads of the South, armed men drafted from the militia patrolled with orders to challenge every black man they met. Thomas Jefferson's nightmare remained a cancer in the South's public mind. Eliminating slavery peacefully would never have been easy or swift, but the possibility was visible until John Brown's foray made further progress impossible.